Welcome to the Friction Zona YouTube channel. This is the second part of at least a two-part series of differences between a Kawasaki Ninja 400 and a Kawasaki Z400 or Z400 here in the United States. I believe it's a British way of saying Z or European. Anyway, yeah, so the last video I talked mostly about the looks and some of the seating position, stuff like that, and how they're mechanically almost identical. Same engine, transmission, same gear ratios even, surprisingly. Some people think that Z400 is geared a little bit for torque, and it doesn't appear so in the owner's manual. I compared both owner's manuals. You can download them from Kawasaki.com, and exactly the same gear ratios. So I don't know, maybe it's a tune of the engine, maybe it sounds different or something. I think there might be a sound difference. Now, the first difference is kind of surprising. The Ninja 400 has a tighter turning radius of 8.2 feet, and the Z400 is 8.5 feet, which you would think with the upright handlebars and being straight, you'd be able to turn a little closer. But apparently that's not true. I would assume the opposite was true. So that's one difference. That's a really small difference. You're talking 0.3 feet, which is maybe 3 or 4 inches. Probably 4 inches, right? Almost 4 inches. And that's about 2.6 meters. 8.5 feet is 2.6 meters for the Z400. That's the minimum turn radius. Now the actual height of the motorcycles, again, kind of surprising. You think with upright handlebars and the mirrors stick straight up, that the Z400 would be taller. It's not true. The Ninja 400 is 44 inches, 0.9 inches tall, and the Z400 is 41.54 inches tall. Now the width are exactly the same. I'm sorry, the wheelbase exactly the same. The Kawasaki, the Z400 is a little bit wider. I think it's 31 inches wide versus 24 inches wide. And now one difference is what's called is a caster or a rake. That's the front. The ratio between the front, the degrees from the front handlebar to the front wheel. The Ninja 400 is 24.5 degrees. I'm sorry, the Z400 is 24.5 degrees. I'm looking at the owner's manual as I do this. The rake or caster of the Ninja 400 is 24.7. So a little bit closer to 25 degrees, and 25 degrees is typical sport bike. So they're both very, very close. It looks like the Z400 actually has a little bit, I guess a little bit, slightly, just a minuscule difference, but a little steeper. And then your typical touring bike is high 20s, like 29 degrees. And a cruiser may be in the low 30s, 32, and then a chopper or one of those real extended handlebar bikes, in the 40s or so. Anyway, so yeah, surprisingly the Ninja is a little less steep. Not sure why that is. Maybe I don't know. Anyway, that's one difference. One more difference would be the road clearance. Just a little bit. Yeah, the Ninja is 5.5 inches, 5.51 inches, and the Z400 is 5.71 inches, so about 0.2 of an inch. So not much, but a little bit. And another difference is the weight. The Z400 weighs 366 pounds in California. I think they have a different exhaust, and then 364 pounds in the rest of the country, in the United States. The Ninja weighs 366 pounds and 368 pounds in California. And they have another version, a couple other versions they sell the Ninja 364. Anyway, so that's those are the major differences. Not major, but it's very sort of tweaks that they have different, probably different models. But they both have the 399cc 24.3 cubic inch engine. It's 2-cylinder, 4-stroke, liquid cooled, so they have radiators. They both have electric start, left to right firing order, 1-2 fuel injection, and they have same spark plugs. Everything's almost identical. It's hard to find there's all these little specs, and it's hard to find differences between the two. Yeah, the gear ratios are the same. Same battery. It's really hard to find anything. Same lights. I mean, the light design is a little bit different in the front. They have a different headlights design. I think they're more spread out on the Ninja. And the Z400's right next to each other. They're connected, and they look a little bit like the KLR 650's headlights. But I think the same strength, just pure design differences. Anyhow, they're both excellent motorcycles. But there actually are legitimate differences as far as the specs go. But 95% of the bike, as far as all the mechanical things is identical. It's just slightly different dimensions, different handlebars, fairings, that kind of thing. So I think whatever you like better is the one to get, or whatever color you like better. But I think seating position is probably the most important thing in my opinion. Or if you definitely want to do track days or a lot of freeway riding, you're probably better off with the Ninja for wind protection and maybe a little more aggressive seating position. So if you're a track guy, a track boy enthusiast, or you want to get into racing, yeah, might as well get the Ninja. It's only a few $100s more. The Z400, I'm sure you could take to a track too, but it would probably lose out on high speed stuff, for the wind protection. Another important thing is the Z400 less fairing. So if you do mechanical work, well, they're both very good. I guess you could change oil on the Ninja 400 without taking the fairings off. You can get to the battery without taking the fairings off. So those are two major maintenance things where they're very easy to get to, which Kawasaki is known for, compared to some other brands where you have to do all sorts of crazy things just to do real basic stuff on them. So you get the Ninja and the Z, easy maintenance. You can basically reach. They also both have the oil eyeglass or looking glass. You can see just by putting your bike upright. You can see if your oil levels are good. So I mean, they really make this thing really fun and easy to own and maintain. Both of them. The Z400 is probably a little bit less that you have to replace if you drop your bike. If you get protection at least, you don't have to. Those fairings, even though they're plastic, I heard they're very expensive to fix if you get the genuine parts, unless you get the imitation ones. So keep that in mind. I think the Z400 is probably a little bit more of a budget bike. I mean, budget friendly as far as maintenance and repairs and stuff like that go. And probably a little bit easier if you're a little bit older, a little bit easier on your arms and back. And you still get the same acceleration, the same speed feeling. So it's really a real style difference. I think there's really no difference in performance on acceleration. Yeah, so it's kind of interesting to compare the two. I think the Ninja 400 is a beautiful bike. The Z400, not so much in pictures, but when you see one in person, like the one I have, it looks I think it looks a little bit meaner. It sort of has a weird look to it, like it's kind of crazy. I guess they call that Sumotomi styling they go for. Sort of like an insect. Anyway, I think it looks kind of mean. Maybe not pretty, but mean. It looks like like a Z900, those kind of bikes, Z650. So I say those are the major differences, and then colors. They come in different color and paint schemes. I think that Ninja 400 has the KRT, like real flashy racing livery paint job. So if you're into that look, I would probably get the Ninja 400. If you don't care about that kind of stuff, I would just sit on them. If you don't care about looks, just sit on them. Which one's more comfortable? Sit on them for like 5-10 minutes. See how you feel, and your legs are going to feel the same because the pegs are in the same spot. So if anything, your legs might be a little bit tighter on the Z400 because you're sitting upright. So in the Ninja 400, you're leaning forward, and your legs might have maybe an inch or two more less bend in your knees. I'm not really sure about that. So anyway, those are the actual specs. I haven't seen anything. I've read that the suspensions maybe set a little softer on the Z400. I can't find that in the owner's manual to compare the two. They don't really talk about the suspension in there. I couldn't find it. That's possible. There could be something to do with the engine, that maybe they tune it a little bit differently. I haven't seen that in the manual. No gear difference. Gear ratios are all the same. But maybe they can play. I mean, Kawasaki is a very advanced company that they make jet engines and rockets, and not rockets, but all sorts of industrial equipment. So maybe they have some. They also make a turbo Hayabusa. I'm sorry, a turbo H2. So they're a really sophisticated engine manufacturer. So maybe they did something that they don't tell us about. Because some of the moto journalists talk about the different characters between the two, and there's nothing on paper that I can find that actually says that. But I've seen it at least 3 or 4 times in different articles. Maybe it's psychological, the way they look, or maybe the fairings block out some of the sound. So maybe the Z400 sounds louder or rowdier. So it's kind of interesting. But anyway, hope you found this video useful. Please like and subscribe. I will be putting out a lot of Z400, Ninja 400 type content as the days and weeks go by. Thanks for watching.